So we want to look at sequence and series. And when we talk about sequence, we are talking about numbers generated according to a definite pattern. Examples of sequence are, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Another example is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. Another example is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. Okay, so when you look at these numbers, you find out that these numbers were actually generated according to a definite pattern. Okay, so that's what we call common difference. Common difference. So when you have a sequence, for example, when you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and you are required to find the common difference. Our common difference is represented using the small letter what? D, okay? So we use small letter D to represent our common difference. Our common difference, which is D, is equals to what? The second term minus the first term, which is what? 4 minus 2, and that will give us what? 2. Or our common difference is also equals to what? The third term minus what? The second term, which is what? 6 minus what? 4, and that will give us what? 2. And our common difference is also equal to what? The fourth term minus the third term, which is what? 8 minus 6, and this will give us what? 2. And we can as well say our common difference is equal to what? The fifth term here, which is 10, minus the fourth term, which is what? 8, which is equal to what? 2. So you can see that they are all the same thing. And that is why we call it a common difference. So let's look at how to find the particular term of a sequence. So we have particular term of a sequence. So you may be given a sequence and you are asked to find the next term of that sequence. So let's take, for example, if you are given 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and this is an example of a sequence, and you are required to find the next term of the sequence. Here, what you need to do is to find the common difference, okay? So let's find the common difference. Our common difference is equals to what? Let's look at it. 6 minus 3, the second term minus the first term, which is what? 6 minus 3, which is equals to what? 3. Or we have the third term minus the second term, which is what? 9 minus what? 6, which is also equals to what? 3. Or the fourth term, which is 12, minus the third term, which is 9, and this will give us what? 3 as well. Or the last term, which is the fifth term, which is what? 15. We have 15 minus the fourth term, which is what? Which is 12, and this will also give us what? 3. So here you can see that the common difference is what? 3. So once you have found the common difference, the next thing for you to do, for you to find the next term of the sequence, is to add the common difference to the what? To the last term of the sequence, okay? So here, the next term of the sequence will be equals to what? The last term, which is what? 15, plus the common difference, which is what? 3, and this will give us what? 18. That means that after 15, we are going to have 18, okay? So it goes on like that. You can also find the next sequence after what? After 18. So we have pattern of a sequence. So the end term of a sequence may be represented using Tn, okay? And this means that our first term will be represented using what? T1, and second term may be represented using what? T2, and the third term may be represented using what? Using T3, and so on, okay? So sometimes you may be given the general formula of a sequence, and you are required to generate the numbers that make up that particular sequence. Let's take, for example, if the sequence Tn is given as 2 raised power of n plus 3 raised to the power of n minus 1. It says find the first 3 terms of the sequence for n equals to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here we are given the general formula of the sequence and we are required to generate the first 3 terms of the sequence. So let's look at it. So we have solution. So our Tn is given as what? Is given as 2 raised to the power of n plus 3 raised to the power of what? N minus 1. Okay, so here we are required to find the first 3 terms of the sequence for n equals to 1, n equals to 2, and n equals to 3. So for our n equals to 1, so that means our T1 will be given as what? 2 raised to the power. Any place we see n, we replace it with what? With 1. So we have 2 raised to the power of what? 1 plus 3 raised to the power of what? 1 minus what? 1. This will give us 2 raised to the power of 1, which is what? 2 plus 1 minus 1 is 0. So 3 raised to the power of 0, anything raised to the power of 0 from our indices is equals to 1. So we have 2 plus 1, and this will give us what? 3. So our T2, the second term, which is T2, our T2 is equals to what? From the formula, we have 2 raised to the power of n. So any place we see n, we replace it with what? With 2. So we have 2 raised to the power of what? 2 plus what? 3 raised to the power of 2 minus what? 1. Okay? And this will give us 2 raised to the power of 2 is what? Is 4 plus, this is 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 raised to the power of 1 is what? Is 3. So 4 plus 3 will give us what? Will give us 7. So our third term, which is what? T3 is equal to 2 raised to the power of what? 3 plus 3 raised to the power of what? 3 minus what? 1. So this will give us what? 2 raised to the power of 3 is what? Is 8. That is 2 times 2 times 2. That is what? 8. Plus, this is 3 minus 1, which is what? 2. So 3 raised to the power of 2, that is 3 times 3. That will give us what? 9. Okay? So this will give us what? 8 plus 9 will give us 17. So the first 3 terms of this sequence is 3, 7, and what? And 17. The first 3 terms of the sequence is equals to what? We have 3, 7, and 17, and it goes on. So now let's look at what we call series. Okay, let me just use this piece. So we have series. So when we talk about series, we are talking about the additions of the term in a sequence. For example, in this example that we have here, under sequence, our series now, for the first one, our series will be equals to what? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus. So let's look at another example of a series. In the example that we just solved under sequence, where our first 3 terms are 3, 7, and 17, the series here, the series will be equals to what? 3 plus 7 plus 17 plus. So this is just an introduction. Part of the things we are going to look at under sequence and series are AP and GP. Okay, thank you very much. Make sure you share this video and you invite others to join this class. Thank you.